As the season went on, you saw a lot of reports coming out that a lot of teams are foregoing that first seed in the Eastern Conference because nobody wanted to see Brooklyn in the first round. And while I understand that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in your first series in the NBA playoffs as a top seed is not the best thing in the world, it's still something that really shouldn't have been that pressing, that as a top team in the conference that you wanted to run away from getting home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs. And the Miami Heat, future 2022 NBA champions, were a team that really didn't let that bother them, and they went after that first seed and they got it. And by doing that, the Miami Heat got probably one of the most preferred brackets for them in the entire NBA. As of right now, the three teams in the Eastern Conference that could really give the Miami Heat trouble in the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, and Brooklyn Nets are all on the other side of the bracket. And to see them in the playoffs, the Miami Heat would have to make the conference finals to even see one of those teams. And on the Miami Heat side of the bracket, while they do have Toronto and Philadelphia over there, which are two teams you do not want to underestimate at all, those are two teams that the Miami Heat have been able to handle relatively well throughout the entire season and can really much handle them and make the conference finals relatively easy. The first round, really, I don't think that'll be much of a big problem. It's either injured Cleveland Cavaliers team as of right now or the Atlanta Hawks, two teams that the Miami Heat are very much better than, and if they play up to their standard, can make it at the first round within 4 to 6 games. Second round, maybe a 6-game series against either the Toronto Raptors or Philadelphia 76ers. It'll be a tough fight because those teams are amazing. I'll talk about the Toronto Raptors a little bit later. Before I get started, hi, I'm FLB. I upload 2 to 3 times a week, but the entire playoffs I'm trying to go daily, talk about the biggest games and what's going on in the NBA around that time. So if you're interested in that and you want to keep up with the channel and be part of the gang, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps me know what you guys like from me. I'd love to have you back here. But as of right now, them running to get that first seed and really playing hard throughout the entire season not only got them the most preferred bracket for them, but it got them home court advantage throughout the entire playoffs, which is something that you fought for the entire year. And it's so far, this is probably Miami Heat's best chance at winning a championship this season. I do think Brooklyn, Boston, and Milwaukee all being on the same side of the bracket, once you do meet them, that'll be a dogfight to even get to the conference finals. So by the time they get there, I do think the Miami Heat will probably be the most rested team by then and be the best team that they can be to face one of those top conference opponents. Added on to the fact that lingering injuries to PJ Tucker, any ankle injury for Jimmy Butler, any injury on the foot for Tyler Hero or Bam's hand, all of those got some significant rest with the play-in. So these guys are ready to go when it comes to playoff time. So I don't really see them having really a lot of, rust to knock off. When you do get into that time, they'll be well rested and ready to go. At least the Miami Heat are a team that's always prepared going into playoff time. I know what happened last season. Don't clown us. But it does seem like this is the best case scenario that could have happened, and it all happened because they played hard throughout the entire season and they grabbed that first seed. Next, I want to talk about Toronto Raptors because outside of every single team in the NBA, they've probably been the biggest surprise to me. I had them coming in as like a 10th seed in the play-in, not a 5th seed going to the NBA playoffs. This is actually insane to see how much they've overachieved this season. Fred VanVleet is an all-star this year. Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr. all played way out of their minds this season. Pascal Siakam surprised me with how much he's improved. Scotty Barnes came in and just took over the moment he stepped on the floor. And in the past 10 games before the playoffs, the Toronto Raptors have been the best team in the NBA. I know a lot of teams did take it a little bit easy. The Miami Heat rested their last 2 guys. The Phoenix Suns did rest a couple people. A lot of the top teams did take a little bit of a break going in, but they went 8-2 in the last 10 games. This is the best record in the NBA. And while it's not the best offense in the world, as they only ranked 12th in the NBA, they had the best defense, which got them the 4th best net rating in the NBA of 9.3. And in that time, everybody on this team has been playing absolutely out their mind. And as a Heat fan, I can't stress it enough how happy I am that Precious found a home in Toronto. Even though he only spent a year here, he really did develop from what I thought was a player that needed a lot of G League time to get his hands right and get used to the NBA into somebody that's now a stretch guy that's pulling up on the fast break like he's KD and being part of one of the biggest switchable offenses in the NBA and being an amazing defender. Pascal Siakam shot my expectations through the roof for him going these playoffs, as they went 8-1 in the last 10 games. He averaged 28 points per game. Gary Trent Jr., the man with unlimited confidence and shoots anything that touches his hands, shot 46% from 3 in those past 10 games. Just everybody on this team just played way above what people expected from them. And I do think a lot of people aren't giving them a chance in this Philadelphia series, or not giving them a chance, but they do have, a majority of people do have Philadelphia coming out of the series, but I will not be surprised if Toronto takes that series away from them, and we'll be seeing them in the conference finals. Not to mention that this series can be hell for James Harden. He already on a bad shooting stretch, already has a reputation of being a known playoff choker, I guess. And going into your first playoff series with the 76ers on a team that's not even completely cohesive, and the first team you see is a team that's not gonna put any bigs on you for you to get easy buckets. It's a switch every single pick and roll. You're gonna have to make some very advanced reads in the pick and roll, and I think a lot of those passes to weak side corner threes to Danny Green or anybody else will get picked off. Toronto Raptors are just too sound defensively, so this could really be hell for James Harden to go against, and that could ultimately be the catalyst to how this team can probably get past them. So I really want to give a big shout out to this team, going from what's supposed to be a rebuilding year, getting rid of what people thought was your best player in Kyle Lowry, or your second best, I don't know how you want to rank him, to being a 5th seed in the NBA with a lot of young developing talent. It's honestly incredible. Not a lot of money on the books either, and it's not the easiest thing to get people to sign in Toronto, but with a lot of money in the books, a lot of young developing talent, a lot of people you can move around to get stars onto this team, it's just amazing to see what this team's been able to get done this season and what they can do in the future. Being probably the only team that has this many switchable guys in their starting lineup, I do think they're about a bench away from being a true contender in the NBA, because their bench is awful, but the solid 7 guys that they do have in their lineup right now is very, very good. So that's how I feel today. First video of a daily upload schedule going into playoff time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think the bracket for the Miami Heat has been that great? What do you guys feel about the Toronto Raptors? Any team you want me to make videos on going to playoff time? Right now, the teams I do have marked up are Dallas, Miami, Toronto, etc., etc. You'll see as time goes on. I'll be informing the community tab. But with that being said, this FLB, that's my time, and I'm out.